What's up, punters and dribblers? Welcome back to another episode of About Even. In my opinion, the greatest punting show of all time, Eddie, and Sebo and Guru, and probably in the opinion of the punter and the dribbler as well. Brought to you by our good friends.
Well, numbers back it up.
Numbers back it up. So opinions don't care about your facts.
Leave your opinions at the door, bruh. Facts are facts. Figures are figures.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
That's right. And no one's putting out these numbers, baby. No one's putting out these numbers.
You know what the other fact is? That we're brought to you by Neds, our great friends. We love Neds so much. And without Neds, this wouldn't be possible. So I just wanted to take a moment to just say thank you, Neds.
Thank you, Neds.
Thanks, Neds.
Thanks, Neds.
Thank you, Neds.
Thanks, Neds.
Thanks, Neds.
Really, really love you. Sebo, Eddie, Guru, how are we feeling? We're not going to do Origin this week, punters and dribblers. We're going to do that next week. We'll get to that a little later. But how are we feeling?
As much as we're not doing it, you can just smell it in the air, can't you?
You can smell
Oh, it's in the air. I'm fucking love it. We are going to be doing a special bespoke Origin show next week, punters and dribblers, just so you can get fucking balls deep on that. I'm ready, though. I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Yep.
I get myself really excited really quickly is what I figured out.
Yep.
Like with the other day when we put those monster bets on,
responsibly
on New South Wales, I was just like, I was reflecting on that this morning, being like, I couldn't have been more confident when I put that bet on. And I don't know why.
And then as time sort of goes on, and like I was even
then
saying
I start thinking about,
the
fuck,
team
like they're going to play Burton, though. Like Burton's going to come in on the...
Surely, what are they going to do?
He's going to fucking definitely be on the bench when Hines is carrying an injury, right?
Well, we'd certainly hope so, given that we put like a monster bet on. Do they know that we've put heaps of money on New South Wales just to win?
Madge, there's a monster bet on, so make smart decisions, okay?
For us.
It's responsibly big.
No, it's responsible. We've adopted a couple of monsters and we've responsibly put them onto that game.
Without listening to the potty yet, are we talking unders, 1 to 12?
Just
New
a
South
straight
Wales.
win.
Yeah.
Just
$2.05. Give it to me raw.
Underdogs.
Yep.
Raw
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
I like a raw dog game one at home.
Just
warm me up.
Just before we get into the accountability, like the teams came out. My immediate default reaction is to suck the state off, right? And that's sort of where I will remain.
They've come in a bit too.
Have they?
Yeah, they've come in a bit.
Yeah, good. But like, you know, I feel like every year you see like different commentators. Now, obviously, there was one who I think is associated with the fine sponsors of this show who went hard at Madge. But there's some people who are like, we just need to band together and not be critical of our state like Queenslanders. And I'm like, sometimes if there's a shit selection, though, you've got to be able to call it out if you think it is. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. That's just pussy Queensland sentiment. You know what I mean? We tell it how it is down here. And listen, has it got us into trouble in the past? Maybe, but not on this occasion.
Yeah, I think just trying to be like Queensland in any respect.
We're not Queensland.
We're not Queensland.
Yeah. I'm not going to follow you around like a little fucking brother, like a little puppy dog.
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
We're duffel bag operators,
Yeah.
but the duffel bag...
Well, we left the duffel at home this year. The duffel
Well,
has
there was
been
no
left.
point in bringing it because it was empty.
It was empty. No duffels in the duffel.
But like, you know, is it how have you been able to, how's the team sat with you? Like first reactions now, like that it's sort of sinking in.
There's a few things I don't agree with, but I think there's a lot less issues than previous years. At least I can walk away from this game, win, lose or draw, knowing that we picked a bunch of tough bastards. Yep. They're going to have a red hot crack, which I like. And I think that just about everyone in that team, I think, deserves their jersey.
Yeah.
There's a couple of interesting ones in there, but even the interesting ones, I can make sense of why Madge has done it. Whereas previous years, you know, your TPJs of the world, I just sat there and went, what
Talakai
the
on the
fuck
bench.
he's doing? Like, I love Talakai, but when he was playing as a centre to pick him as a front row forward, it was just like, what are you doing?
Has anyone ever pointed out to you that your eyes are the same colour as the state and it's fucking beautiful?
I'll take it.
Look at them.
I'll wear it.
I just, because you got the blue hat on, I just seen the blue eyes. I'm like,
What
that's,
colour have you got?
mine I think are a bit greeny.
Mine are green.
Yeah.
Mine are dark.
Yeah. I didn't even need to turn and look at him. I could have predicted that.
No, I knew that.
I could have predicted
But he's
that.
a blue. Good omen.
Yeah. Great omen. Should we get into some accountability?
Happy to rip in, Tom. Bulldogs 44 defeated the Dragons 12 last week, punters and dribblers. A lot of Lomaxes lighting up the board here. In fact, we all had a Lomax except the Lippy, and no one cares about him. Addo Carr also lets us down in an Indigenous round. The Dragons don't hit for Guru. Obviously, they got absolutely pumped. Very little green except for Seb's Dogs -4.5 and my Matty Burton, who scored a double, I believe. So there's nothing doing there. Cowboys 42 defeat the Tigers 28. Cowboys finally get their shit together. Tigers, another spoon incoming.
Tommy 2+.
Tommy 2+.
The only leg. Well, I got home, but you know what I mean. Like,
You got 2 of your 4 legs. I don't know what else.
I
don't know.
Sort of.
Papali'i looked like there was a hole in the defense, and he was going to score, and then he got hip dropped on and went off, and it's like just one of those things. They're like, great, here's my weekend ahead. You know what I mean? Like it was like a fucking hole, and then he not only doesn't score, he has to go off the field, and he doesn't come back on. That try goes over. The line's also covered, so sometimes that's just the way the gods want to tease you.
They'll tease you.
Yeah,
the punting gods will tease you.
It's not like, he just wasn't seen all game. It's like, no, like that he should have scored
the punting gods they'll tease you, they'll tie you up, they'll fucking chain you to the bed.
Pour hot wax on your balls.
And then they'll steal all your shit, George Costanza style. That's what the punting gods do to you. Very cruel. So a lot of red. Mm-hmm. Now, in our defence, it's hard to punt this time of year. I know it's not officially Bye Round football, but everyone had their eyes on Origin, and it just affects outcomes.
This week.
Well, it just affects outcomes. That's all I'm saying.
Save that excuse for this week.
Oh, it'll be used in earnest for the next fucking 12 weeks, mate. Seagulls 26 defeat the Storm 20.
Famous win.
Again, a lot of red. In fact, only red, except for Sebo's Manly to win bet. I had Hamole. A lot of people had Hamole. He doesn't score. Farlongo doesn't score. Tyron Wishart, first time in a while, doesn't score. Saab doesn't score. Remus Smith doesn't score. Saab doesn't score any. And Tommy's got him for 2+. So red.
Yep.
We get to the Roosters 44 defeating the Raiders 16. Now, for those of you out there that follow along with the bets intimately, you might be going, well, Tommy's just fucking hit a 24-47 monster. Sua'ali'i,
No, I'll stop.
Huddy Young, and Manu.
I did. It was an inspired bet, 24-47. I appreciated Sebo clipping together my bet for the highlights package this week, but I am a man of honour and integrity.
What happened?
I put on Dommy Young instead of Huddy Young. and in a 44 fucking point humping, he didn't get over. So
And he made a fatal error.
How did this get
Fatal
revealed?
error.
Yeah.
He said it to me the other day. Dude, how the fuck doesn't Dommy Young score in a 44 to the fucking 16 Raiders defeat?
Yep.
So even if he didn't admit it here today,
But I fucking
already
admitted
knew.
But I admitted it to you. I said yesterday, I go, dude, you will not believe
because you knew the gig was
Well,
up.
because I'm a fucking honourable guy.
Yeah,
But 24-47 is not an amount you want to lose. You know? It's just not. And that's my fault. It's a bad beat as well because Dommy Young didn't go over. But what can you do? You just be honourable. You front up, and you be honourable.
You still wouldn't have technically got it because you didn't have the bet on, even if Dommy Young scores, because you had Huddy. Anyway.
Yeah, but I could have shown you the slip, and it would have been. I could have lied my way through that. But
Pathetic.
I'm honourable.
Sebo, you were a Dommy Young short,
yeah.
legitimately.
There was a point where Mano did score, so he did pick the right option, but I thought it was just a little flick pass again. But again, Burmo sentiment, 44-point flushing, and Dommy doesn't score.
That's fucking tough going.
Did we predict a flushing in this game? Was this the flushing?
No,
That was
last
Magic
week.
Oh, okay.
Guru, you had a wrap and a short, man.
Yeah, I always look at Jordan Rapiner and think, I love the way he kicks for himself. He always runs. He jumps into dummy half whenever he can. I'm always so positive. Then I was there on the weekend watching him play, just going, what fucking position are you playing? What are you doing? Get near the fucking ball.
Mate, I was looking at him for 2+ at $17 going, there's some value there.
Everything I love about him, I fucking hated about him on the weekend.
Lippy just lighting the fucking world on fire with red last week. So shout out to him. Has one leg through 4 or 5 games at this point. Panthers 42 defeat the Sharks 0. I had Panthers and Edwards and then had Katoa. Obviously, that doesn't happen.
Panthers win was just the bet. It was Panthers win triple stake. That was always going to fucking happen.
But you didn't do it.
No, I'm not
You
saying
had
for me. I'm
Panthers
saying
1
for
and
all of
12,
us.
you had
I'm just
Tongo,
saying Panthers
Katoa.
win.
But someone did hit. Rue.
Yeah, took home Dylan Edwards. I thought $3 without Nathan Cleary in that side. I thought the value was too good there. So for the first time ever, I didn't turn into a greedy little piglet and just swallowed my $3 and walked away.
That's smart. It's smart punting. 42 points to the Rabbitohs defeat the Eels 26. I saw this and thought, fucking, there's just no way the Rabbitohs lose this. Although, if you watch the game, they honey-dicked a fucking loss.
I was so close
way
to-
through. I'm like, this is actually very difficult to watch this game.
Yeah, I was like
Made me
almost early
sick.
crowing it because AJ scored, I think, the 4th try, and it was like 24,
27th minute or
22 nil or something. And I was like, here we are, but
Lucky it didn't, cunt.
It turned, but we came away with the end.
Bunnies and AJ, I triple staked that. Sebo followed me with a Control-C, Control-V. Credit to him.
Didn't you just remove Walker and keep
Yeah, I
Blades
just
and
took out
AJ?
Walker, so I got 390 for that.
Oh, you got 390.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
390.
Well done, mate.
Say that. Didn't you copy?
No, I didn't. I threw in a Trell instead, so that would change some of my odds slightly
greedy
there.
stuff.
Probably to make it worse. Yeah, greedy. But also, mate, I just honourably pointed out that you got the bet right. I'm
Yeah, no, I
fucking
appreciate
so honourable today. It's not funny.
I'm finding less is more for me. Just get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
A little two-legger, that used to be my philosophy.
What's your philosophy now?
Well, I was just stopping the bleeding and then honing in on a triple to get my bank back. And so now I can do somewhat reasonable bets with a still kind of stop the bleeding vibe, but not just 50 to 1s.
Yep, I get that.
Sorry, I was just fixing something up on behalf of my friend Guru. Now, we return. Titans 36 defeat the Broncos 34. Tommy had Mam and Walsh 2+. Walsh doesn't score.
But he does.
In a game where
But he
there's
doesn't,
70 points scored.
Yeah.
70 points. Walsh was in most people's bets. The Lippy and I had for feeder, David. He doesn't score either, which just denies a lot of bangs. Walsh and Fafita let the fucking team down in again.
Tony Francis.
36 to 34 humping. You don't read about that.
When you see, sorry, I'm just looking at Guru and Sebo's legs here, where you Piakora, Walsh, Tony Francis. Does Tony Francis, that name looks like he's an actor, right?
Tommy Vassetti. We said it last week.
Did we say that last week? Yeah, right.
yeah.
I was looking at that and I'm going, that just doesn't seem like a rugby league name at all.
I thought the bet was home. I was at a lunch getting a roast, Sunday roast with Millie's mother's group's friends and husbands, a bit of a meeting for the first time. So I'm just checking the score on my phone, and I see Francis goes over pretty quick, and Piakora, and there's like a whole half of footy to play. And it looks
They're
like
the two of the toughest legs.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm sorted. Get me a Guinness. I'm just going to keep checking. And then, I didn't want to believe it. 80 minutes on the app, and I don't see a Walsh. I'm like, how does that not happen?
But also, to add context, my boy Tony Francis, he injured his shoulder in about the 6th minute, and they just left him out there for 15 minutes. When he scored the try, he couldn't put it down with his right hand. He had to put it down with his left because he was completely fucked. So when Piakura crossed over in the 35th minute, I'm like, I've got 45 minutes for Reece Walsh to score a try in Brisbane against the fucking Titans. There was 70 points scored. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that hurts.
That
That's
hurts.
punting God stuff.
That is.
That's
punting
God
gods, it's
stuff.
like they're playing with you. They're just playing with you.
They're playing with you, buddy. Unfortunately, you would have had a good week otherwise, Roo. Warriors 24 defeat the Dolphins 20. Again, a lot of red here. There was sorry, you had that one, Roo. There was some hammers, and that was it. Basically some hammers, and that was it.
Yep.
We get to the unit scoop up. Tom had 2 of 8. Pathetic.
Love that.
I had 3 of
over in the
5.
first
Said
game.
2 of 5. Roo 2 of 4. And the Lippy 1 of 6. Hot seat. Sebo, Joshy Carr and AJ. Joshy Carr does not score. He's out.
So unnecessary.
Tom is in.
Yeah, but I wanted
No,
both
you
of
needed
them.
$1.90.
and I needed $1.90.
Oh,
so they were both under $1.90.
Needed $1.90.
Yeah. Take you.
Sebo wins the week.
Yep.
Well done, mate.
Strategy's
well done,
paying off.
Sebo.
Strategy has started to pay off.
Moving in the right direction, my friend. He's 6.21 units. That's a triple surrounded by $100 to $1 bets. So that's smart punting. I was also the triple, 1 from 9, 5.15 units. Guru, 2 of 9, 3.8 units. Tommy Burms, none of 9, minus 3.29. And the Lippy, none from 9, minus 4.48. Shithouse from the Lippy. We get to the overall. Roo maintains his lead, minus 18.15.
By the skin of his sack.
Well done, Roo. I'm second, minus 23.15. The Lippy slipping. It was always going to happen eventually. The Lippy was hanging around, but the slide now well and truly on. Minus 36.43. Burmo. Tommy. Minus 45.83. Not great.
Not great, but I'm close, dude. I'm close to hitting something good.
You close?
I think my unit scooper hits this week.
You say that every week.
No, this one's different.
Okay. Sure. And Sebo. Minus 62.4. You could be getting back. You might slip
thought
back
I
into the
was there
50s,
last
buddy.
week.
You're 68 last week, mate.
Oh, was I? Okay. Yeah, look, I got a bit of a kitty now. 376. We'll take that. It's enough to start betting.
Yeah.
Good on you, brah.
All right.
That's accountability.
Let's get into the punts, shall we? Now, only 5 games to work with this week, punters and dribblers. So who's our lippy first and foremost before we do get into it?
Jordan
Sebastian?
Powell, I think he's had a couple of good bets. He had like a 50-1 bet the other week, but then he had something like 100-something one the week before, but someone else pipped him.
Did we go to uni with Jordan Powell?
Don't know. Did we?
I don't know. It sounds familiar. Sounds very familiar. Maybe.
Apologies if we did. But
Apologies. I
that
don't-
was fucking 10 years ago.
Well, I know, but you usually criticise me for not remembering people, so I thought of anyone.
Yeah, but you remember people that we fucking spent time with, people we live with and shit.
I remember them. I don't remember.
Mate, some people we used to hang out with fucking every week. You don't know their names. So
I think that's linked to my lack of smell. That's at least the excuse I'm going to use. Eel Sharks Combank. We're doing a live stream for this one. Streety and Jarch joining us. Streety will not be picking his nose. $1.78 for the Eels. Sharks.
well, can you promise that?
Well, we'll
'Cause
put
he's got
gloves on him.
form.
We'll put mittens on him so he can't get in there.
Yeah, so you can't shove it up.
yeah.
Put these on. That would actually be funny.
That
dude.
would be funny.
Let's get him some mittens.
We'll get him some mittens.
He'll hate that.
He'll hate it. He'll walk off. The Eels $1.78, Sharks 2.05. The line 1.5 total 48.5. And for the first time today, we welcome our good friend, the random stats guy. Sorry, Rando. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. Very good, very well. We'll get straight into this. It's going to be dry at Combank. It's
good.
Sharks have won 4 of their last 5 times they've played the week after being kept to nil. The Sharks have won their last 3 games at Combank as well, so I do like Cronulla here to have an upset against Para. I know they got Guffo and Moses back, but do like the Sharks here. Smoky try scorer for this one is Sean Russell. The Eels have scored 9 tries in the last 4 games on their left side. The Sharks have conceded a try to a left centre in each of their last 3 games.
Shawnee Russ is paying $2.95 at time
Interesting.
of recording.
I think the Sharks should be absolutely rattled after last week because it was fucking pathetic. And have they shown the league that they're just not that good? Maybe. I don't know. I just look at this game and I see the Eels, who are beyond desperate for a win, getting their general back, Moses, who, like, with Moses, they're a completely different footy side. Without him, they fucking stink. So he's a massive in. I like Parramatta. I liked him. Tom and I were talking on the podcast on Monday. We should have jumped on the Eels at 260 before Moses was announced. That's a different time. It doesn't matter. I like Parramatta. I like Gutho. I like 327. I'm going to double it because I'm chasing down Rue, and I'm going to start fucking taking a few chances here and there, baby.
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go Sharkies 1-12. I'm not a big believer in Parramatta at the moment. So Sharks 1-12, and I'm going to take Nikora and Katoa for anytime try scorers, $26.50. Tom, question to you.
Yep.
Blaze, bold to bet on the utility off the bench.
Bench
Talk to
Blaze.
me.
Yeah, I know.
You know what it was though? And I'll speak for him. He
But that's
likes the
good.
price.
Fucking oath, I like the price. He's a good player. Blaze scores. He does score. I think he scored fucking.
Scores
maybe
when he
every
starts
game.
at fullback.
Yeah, he might get about 6 minutes.
He
Do you reckon
played,
he's
I think he
gonna-
played 14 last
But do you
time.
reckon he's going to get? Do you reckon he's going to get 6 minutes?
I don't reckon he gets a heap more.
I
I will say
what
this.
if they're
I still
playing
reckon
like
there's a chance
shit?
he plays fullback.
There you go.
And if,
So if he does, and I get him at 420, then suck
And then
it off.
and then
But
can't stress enough chance. But
yes,
and then
correct.
Gutho to centre.
yeah, that's what I would be doing personally. This season's fucked. It's gone.
I
Future.
I still like Blaze, but the problem is that Rando's Shark stats have me a little rattled. And I also don't believe. My concern is, I guess, when I hear Rando's stats, I'm like, Mitch back in great, Gutho back in great, but like, is there ring rust? Like, are they a little long out? Do they come back and do they get straight back into it? Like, I don't know.
How long's he been out for, Moses?
Fucking ages.
Been a while now.
How long's it been?
Round 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was round 2 or round 3. He's been out for a while.
So what round is it now?
Round 12.
13.
Yeah,
To be
so
honest
10
with you,
weeks.
when I saw you with Blaze in there, I assumed there was going to be a 420 Blaze rhetoric coming our way.
Fuck.
Is he 420?
He is 420.
He's exactly 420.
He is 420. I don't do that, just so everyone knows. That's not my go. But now I'm just too confused, and I really like the connection there. So I'm just going to go Para and 420 blaze it up.
Why don't you could just blaze it up at 420.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Love that.
420, blaze it up. Sebo?
I'm on Para as well. Like I feel it's like that scene, Lord of the Rings or Avengers, where like the reinforcements come back in to save the day. It's not just one; it's like two of them, Gutho and Moses.
Helm's Deep.
Huh? Right as Rohan when they blow the horn and all the horses come and fucking destroy all the orcs.
Yeah, but at Helm's Deep when they look to the east on the third day.
Helm's Deep as well. Yeah,
Is that the scene that...
Wait, there's
Look to my coming.
There's a third
to the
movie
east.
with like all the riders at Minas Tirith, where Kingdom of Gondor.
After the
Helm's Deep's the second movie.
Yeah, but what do they light? They light the
on the third day. Oh no, it's like they light the beacons.
the beacon.
The beacons are lit. Yeah. Like Para are fucking lighting the beacons right now. You know what I mean? And Moses and Gutho's coming back. So I like Para to win. I never trust the Sharks, even though they've lost like 2 games. For some reason, I still think they suck. Para to win. Sevo with Dill being able to just like go back to just concentrating on the left. Sevo scores. Moses loves scoring at Combank, doesn't he, Rando? Surely getting his stat
he does
there.
have a good record there.
And Mulatalo. Trindle's back. Is he playing left? So maybe that side gets
It's gonna be
activated again.
interesting. I think Atkinson might stay left.
Yeah, I think Atkinson will stay there.
Shit. Anyway. Fuck. 17-12.
And what's our
Who's
lippy
the
friend?
lippy again?
Jordan Powell. Jordan
Oh,
Powell.
that's Jordan Powell. Sorry, mate. Forgot you already. Either team to win by 12.5 or less. Moses and Teague Wilton, 21.86.
Love it. We move on. Knights Dogs. McDonald Jones Stadium. $1.62 Knights. 2.35 for the doggies. 4.5 is the line and 43 the total. Randa.
Obviously, it's going to be in Newcastle. Possible shower expected in the second half, but other than that, should be dry for this one. Big out for the Bulldogs. Not so much Matty Burton, but Williami Kickout is out. 4 wins in 15 games the Dogs are without him. The Dogs have also lost 19 of their last 21 Friday fixtures, and they have not won away all year this season. So I do like the Knights there. For try scorers, I do like the Dogs' right edge. As I mentioned, Burton out. Toby Sexton will be running that right side. Dogs' right winger has scored in the last 3 games. The Dogs' right centre has scored in the last 2 games. Blake Wilson will be on that right wing. He's scored in 3 of his last 4 games. And Jacob Carraz moves one man into right centre. He has scored 4 tries in his 4 games against Newcastle. And Carraz is $3.35, which I
love
think
Carraz.
is pretty juicy.
He's a Newcastle boy too, Kiraz.
Fuck.
Is he?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Redemption bet.
That's
I thought
hectic.
it was local product.
I'm just going to straight away. I had a Hectic Fred bet on. Hectic Fred came on the live stream, and he's a big Doggies fan. I was going to go Dogs Preston Salmon.
Week late, mate.
Yeah, it is, but it's in honour of Hectic Fred and his performance. So yeah, but now that I'm hearing how fucked the Dogs are, I'm going to need to just do a little bit of reworking here. So I'm going to pass it on to you, Sebo.
I am taking a kind of somewhat responsible bet here, a 2-legger. Kiraz, Rando's gone on about him. I am just inspired from last week, I love him as well, and I feel maybe the ball, even though now they're left with Burton out, they might go right, a little bit more trust in him. And then Armstrong. I mean, look, have I watched many night games? No, but I own him in Supercoach, and he seems to score tries there. So those two together, 7.43. 7.43 for a fullback and a winger. I'll take it every day of the week.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I'm on Kiraz as well, like Rando's stats there. I've got Armstrong in there as well. And I don't know, I just got a feeling about Jack Cogger this week. Made the journey down to Canterbury a couple of years ago, came back, like him on that right side. So Cogger, Armstrong, Kiraz, $47.50.
I had a feeling about Hastings, but I didn't want to screw up a bet. The $7 I really like.
So did I.
Yeah, I had a Hastings
The extra
feeling.
$2.50.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling.
There you are.
Yeah, I've got a feeling about Jackson Hastings. Big feeling, strong feeling. Knights at home, tick. Put them down for a dub. Armstrong, again. As Sebo said, he seems to score tries. He scored a hat-trick the other week. And I like the cut of his jib. And Jackson Hastings, I don't know what it is. I was just going through the anytime try scorer markets, and he leapt off the page. Danced off it.
Really?
Threw himself off it.
Really?
Crazy. 10.68.
I think he scored a double against Canterbury last year, Jacko.
He scored a few
got some
games
stats
this
for
year,
me, bro?
hasn't he?
Make me
Yeah,
feel
he
better
scored a
about
double
myself.
that was the only tries he scored against the Bulldogs, so that double.
Okay.
Like that.
But he scored a few games this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
scored
got against the Dragons.
He scored in three tries in 9 games. Hasn't
Not
scored in
bad.
his last 5,
30%.
Hasn't scored in his last 5.
Yep.
So he's due.
So he's due.
He's due.
And it's
That's-
Bye Round Footy.
that's what you
Different
want
beast.
when they
different
haven't scored.
beast.
I'm glad you said Bye Round Footy, Eddie, because I've gone and changed my tact. And I think that Bye Round Footy might be the time where the first Kai Pearce-Paul rank.
To say.
I like that.
like a full
that,
moon.
that makes a lot of sense.
Like if Kai Pearce-Paul's going to go over, it's going to be this, and I'm going to employ the same tactics for wrangling a Stags, which is that you need someone to help you hunt down a Kai Pearce-Paul. Mm-hmm. And so obviously I'm bringing Armstrong because from what I hear, he seems to score. So he's a man you want to take on a hunt. So if you go Mr. Armstrong, I think his name is Neil, then you throw in a Kai Pearce-Paul.
It's Neil's boy.
It's Neil's son. You're going to get 1037. So you get Neil into a KPP 1037. It's a good bet.
He leapt off the page for me as well, but I didn't want to. I liked my bet, but yeah.
Listen,
I mean, a
dude.
KPP and Hastings would be a pretty good bet if you're following along.
Yep.
Bold to change your bet and put in Armstrong, which we're all on. Never a good sign.
I don't give a fuck, mate. I'm trying to chase a KPP here, mate.
Has
You know what I
anyone
mean?
I wonder if we've ever hit a leg that we're all on.
Surely.
Well, I thought
I
last
don't
week was
think-
going to
I
be
don't
with Josh
think we have.
Adokar. We
I
didn't.
honestly don't know if we
I
have.
don't think we have. Well, you haven't
think
since
so.
I've been here.
We haven't this year. Maybe
No.
if you go back through the annals, you won't be
It's
able to
pronounced
see.
anals, mate.
You won't be able to go back through all of them for reasons that I won't divulge.
No, well, they've been wiped from the internet.
I don't know what happened to them.
No, they just disappeared. Thank God they disappeared just in time before anyone else saw them. Anyway, Lippy.
Either team to win by 12.5 or less. Big fan of this market. Blake Wilson, Jacob Preston, Greg Marju, $20.89. Doing too much, brah.
Yeah.
Doing too much.
Too much. Sorry we don't remember you from uni, dude. Just do less. That's not going to make you more memorable. Panthers, Dragons. This is at Penrith. $1.35 for the Panthers, $3.30 for the Dragons. 9.5 is the line. 45.5 is the total, Rando. Have you got anything for us?
45.5 is the total points.
That's what it says here. Would it shock me if Eddie's got it
Heavy
wrong?
rain expected in Sydney on Saturday.
that was
40
unfair.
to 80 millimeters.
80 mil.
Jesus.
And obviously,
The total points is 45.5.
Oh, then it's under City,
It
isn't
could
it?
be an unders game here, particularly with new players. Penrith missing half their spine. Talking about players missing, interestingly, Penrith have lost their last 4 games without Dylan Edwards. However, it kind of cancels itself out for the Dragons as they've lost their last 10 games without Ben Hunt. On top of that, the Dragons have lost their last 6 against Penrith and lost 6 of their last 7 at the foot of the mountains. For try scorers, really tough one to get a hold on for the stats here. Only 4 Panthers players playing have scored against the Dragons in their career. One of them is Sunia Taruva. I know he's $1.70, but he has scored
You'd love that,
6
mate.
tries. I know, that's valid
Juicy.
for me. I'm seeing that.
Juicy $1.70.
So juicy. Overs. He has scored 6 tries in 3 games that Brad Schneider has played in this season. He scored a hat-trick and a double in 2 of those games. If you're looking for someone else, the right second rower for the Panthers, who I believe will be Liam Henry, is a good shout there.
like Liam.
The right second rower
fan.
has scored in 4 of the last 4 games for the Panthers.
Okay.
Got a nice name, Liam Henry.
Two
Just
first names. Can you
I
trust
like
them, though?
I just like 2 first names sometimes in a footballer.
Well, but it's sort of like it's a no fuss, no nonsense name.
Also, I've actually played it into a Dane Laurie. Laurie, you could say is a first. I've got
course you could.
the double first name.
He also wears black boots, Liam Henry. which I
Oh,
love.
so he just gets out there and does it. If you're playing in black boots in the bye round, you mean business. I like that too. 4 first names is what I've gone. Dane Laurie, Liam Henry, $8.06. Nothing crazy, but also reasonably good odds.
I am going to swap out my Scotty Sorensen for a Liam Henry, given the news. Now, I actually hate myself for doing it because I don't trust Rando. But I'm going Alamotti and Liam Henry anytime. 11.28 you're going to get for that. 11.28. Now, there's a person inside me screaming right now. He's inside and he's screaming and he's saying, just Just triple stake the Panthers. Just triple stake the Panthers win.
And the
Just do
unders,
that.
maybe.
How much are they for the
Pussy.
win?
It's only $1.35.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's not,
What about the
It's just
unders,
a-
though? 45.5 and pissing down
You could
rain.
go Panthers into the unders and triple stake that, couldn't you? I'm not going to, at least not right now. The segment's still going.
Triple the Panthers.
Into unders.
No, just triple them, just outright.
it's not a bad bet.
Just triple them outright.
Into the unders. Move on. I'll put my bet in, bro.
I had Tungo as first try scorer because I don't love this game when all the Penrith playmakers are out and they seem to get it every Origin. It's like, okay, let's put Penrith up against a shit team when everyone's out for Penrith, and you just don't know what's going to happen. I had Tungo first try scorer, but you know what? To get some more juice, if I'm lucky enough to get a fucking FTS for once, I'll throw in a little Henry as well. So I'll put those two together, Henry for any time and Tungo first try scorer, 44.67.
Oh, Jesus.
Christ alive.
Boys, I'm going to go for Paul Alamotti to score first, second, or third. He's at $6.80. I do not like those edges that the Dragons have picked. I like the wet weather. Probably won't get out to your wingers. I like the Senator crash over. Paul Alamotti, $6.80. Just a little value one, boys. I do not think Jack Cole is going to play this weekend. I think they've named him to take a bit of attention off the kid that's debuting, Trent Tialo, I believe it's pronounced. He's $5.60 for an ATS coming off the bench. I reckon he starts in the half. So maybe a little value play there for some punters.
Okay, Guru.
You like that?
There's a little tweet there. Clip that up. Guru's tweeting, eh? Little birdies tweeting in your ear. What's wrong with Jack Cole?
Did he use hammy last week? I don't know why they've named him. I think they've named him to take a bit of attention off the debut here, potentially.
Okay.
I'll be surprised if he plays.
I wish you'd tripled them.
Into the unders, 235.
Anyway, the Lippy. Panthers 1-12, Tungo, Sorensen 35.16.
Love it. Love it. I actually don't hate that. 1-12. Yeah.
Don't hate it.
All right, where are we here? Raiders, Fish Raiders, KO Stadium. Shout out to KO. $1.60 for the Fish, $2.35 the Raiders, 4.5 is the line, 49.5. They're expecting rugby league points here. Rando.
Once again, a wet game for this one in Redcliffe. 5 to 10 millimetres expected. The big stat here goes towards Wayne Bennett. Here's won 9 of his last 10 home games when coaching against Ricky Stewart. The Dolphins have also won all 3 night games they've played at KO Stadium in their history. For try scorers, I'm singling out Ethan Strange here. He's starting to become a big defensive weakness for the Raiders. The right second rower has scored in 4 of the last 5 games against the Raiders, and the right centre has scored in each of the last 4 games against the Raiders. Running that block play, he has no idea whether it's going out the back or it's going to be a short ball. Absolutely in Disneyland there. So Connolly Lemuelu is your right second rower option, or Jake Averillo as a right centre option there.
Call me crazy.
You're crazy.
But I said in a Titans game and a Manly game the other week that 50 points was a lot, and it went unders. It didn't go, and it's still like 50 points is a lot. And I think these two teams are still in the fight for staying in the 8. Dolphins maybe going a bit better. If it's raining, 50 points of these two teams, Dolphins can attack, sure, but Raiders, it's just kind of lucky tries and gritty defense. I'm going to triple stake the unders. Possibly the dumbest bet I've ever done in my life, but 49.5 points is a lot. In the rain, unders I can never wrangle ever, but for some reason it just, Raiders versus Dolphins, 50 points is a lot, right? How much rain we talking?
5 to 10 mil.
Oh, fuck. That's not that much.
5 to 10 mils.
I thought we were talking 80.
5 to 10 mils.
Fuck it. Whatever.
You're locked in now. You're locked in.
Under 49.5. Triple stake. And you know what?
respect it.
I got to make some plays. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here at the bottom. But
You got to make plays.
I got to make plays. But it's a lot of rugby league points.
Here you go, Sebo. Every game that the Dolphins have played at KO Stadium has gone under.
There we are. There we are.
There we
There we
are.
are.
There we go. I actually don't. I'm just such a FOMO guy. I'm like, fuck. You can convince me I want to do anything. I'm staying away from it.
Fuck unders is so bold, dude. I
hate
respect the
unders.
fuck
I
out of it.
respect
But it is 50 points.
No, I
a lot of fucking rugby league
I heard
points.
your
It's a lot
rationale.
of points.
I heard your rationale. I've picked a nut trucker for a nut trucker round. That's Bye Round Footy. Mark Nichols. I'm just a big fan of his work, and when you got a bye round and this game, Dolphins Raiders, KO Stadium, Sunday afternoon, bit of wet around. This is a game for the nut trucker to stand the fuck up and truck nut. And that's what Mark does in spades. $5.60 for Mark. Gobble that up. Thank you very much.
Roo?
Boys, I'm just having a look over my bets for the weekend. I got some pretty high odds here, so I'm thinking I might join Sebo.
Oh, really?
I'm coming with you as well. Yes. Is there room on that boat for one more? Yes,
There we
dude.
go.
Let's do
Look
that.
at
Let's
that.
go. I was looking at my bet and I'm like, am I going to have more fun on the boat with Sebo and now Roo? Like, yeah, of course I am.
This will be very interesting between Rue and I if this goes down.
Yeah.
Or gets up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Spice. It keeps things interesting
It
late in the
does.
day.
It does, dude. Is that Saturday or is that the Sunday?
It's a Sunday.
It's a
It's actually-
Sunday.
is it
What, Sunday
I think
too?
it's Saturday.
Is that a Sunday tooey?
That
No,
wouldn't-
it's Saturday night.
Saturday night.
I'm tired.
So it's only one
Perfect.
game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Fuck, I
That'll
love
be
like
good.
when you got a lot of money on unders, like a triple stake on unders. Like it's just obviously overs is fun because you just like go for tries, but it's something about unders just kind of gets you more tense.
Well,
like,
you did- every time they get
you're
through a
just
try,
playing
like,
for a tackle. You're like, give me no line breaks.
Yeah.
Like, give me the ball out of play as much
Also,
as
like,
possible.
it gets to like, you know, it's like fucking 18-all at halftime. You're like, holy fuck, we're screwed. We're absolutely screwed.
You find yourself cheering on errors.
Yeah, big
yeah.
time. You want a poo slinger. All right, well, let's get on to the final game. That's a fucking
Lippy?
Yeah, oh yeah, the Lippy.
Sebi, Chris, Avarillo, under 49.5.
Beautiful. Last game of the round, Roosters Cows at Allianz. $1.13 for the Roosters, $6.20 for the Cows, 19.5 rugby league points, and 51 is the total, 51.5. It's a fucking big line. It's a big line, Rando.
It's a huge line. I think that's disgusting, disrespectful. We've won our last 2 games against, quality opposition. So
It's a fucking big
I just-
line, mate.
It is a big line. Cowboys, they've only won 4 of their last 16 games at Allianz Stadium. On top of that, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games in Sydney as the underdog by 30-plus points. So the line, for some, would look pretty tasty. For try
They've lost by
scorers,
30.
The try scorers aren't too tasty here, but the Cowboys are just leaking tries to left and right wingers. They've conceded a try to the left winger in each of their last 3 games. So Daniel Tupou comes up. The right wing has scored for the Roosters in 4 of the last 5 games as well. Joey Manu, glue hands, an opportunity there. But the left second rower kind of speaks out to me here. Cowboys have leaked a try in the left second rower's attacking channel in each of their last 3 games. They've conceded 6 tries. They're running at Chad Townsend. So I don't mind Natty Butcher, who I believe will be lining up on that left-hand side as well for a bit of value, because other than that, it should be an outside backathon here for the Roosters, in my opinion.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like that. I've got Nat Butcher in there, so I like to hear that. Nat Butcher into Manu to score 2 or more. $19.56, which I thought was reasonable value given some of the fucking odds for try scorers.
Yeah, the odds are. I did like a few outside backs and I wasn't getting enough. But I've gone something really clean here. The Roosters are flushing teams, absolutely flushing them, and the Cows are getting flushed. And they don't have Dearden, they don't have Val. Who else don't they have? Nanai.
No.
They've also got the
Golongi.
second worst defense in the league, right? Something like that, second or third
We're
worst.
working our way up. It's like 5th now.
You said 30 points they score against the Cows, and the Cows used to be in form. I'm just going for a clean flush. Like Roosters minus 39.5. The Roosters are just in a mood to flush people. It's only $6, but I don't want to throw a try scorer in there. Why? Because he could have a repeat of a Dom Young, like 44 points, and Dom Young doesn't score somehow. I just want to keep it clean and just cheer on a flush. I think. Yeah, it's happening a bit at the moment. Like, there was a few flushings last week. I want to be on that bet. $6, Roosters minus 39.5.
Yep. I initially I thought it was crazy,
Flush
and
bet.
then when you looked at the teams, you're like, "There's a flushing afoot." Because initially Eddie and I were looking at that 19.5 point line, going, "That's ridiculous." Then you see the teams, you realise that warm the toilet seat up. There's a flushing coming.
Oh, no, Lindsay Collins is out. They're only going to bring on Tyrrell May. He scores like 50 tries a game.
No
and,
disrespect to
like,
Lindsay Collins. When I looked at their team, I didn't even notice he wasn't in there. That's how good their fucking team is. I'm just like, I didn't even notice Lindsay was gone. I'm going for a flushing, but through try scorers, Tupou, Manu, Radley, and then to obviously juice this flush, I'm going for a Tupanua anytime. He's off the bench, sure, but I mean, if it's a flushing, then what? Bench players can't score? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're going to fucking tell me, Guru? No. 68-43.
Is that what you're going to tell him?
I am going for James Tedesco. I think he's an absolute special this week after getting left out of the Origin side. I think he goes big. Daniel Tupu, I love Rando's stats there. And, boys, I like Victor Radley. He's playing on the right edge, scored last week. What I'm finding with the Cowboys is that if you run hard, you tend to fucking score. Victor Radley runs harder than most, so I'm going to take him. And, boys, I think Terrell May this week is great value. Look at their bench. They've got Sandon Smith and Michael Jennings there, Wong and Tupanua. They literally don't have a middle forward on the bench. So I reckon Terrell May plays huge minutes. I've got him in my unit scooper as well. Teddy, May, Tupu, Radley, $42.
Yeah, I love that because he scored a double as well, didn't he?
He'll play 65, 70 minutes this week, I reckon.
He can score on a flush.
He's a big, thick boy.
Lippy, B. Smith, the cheese, into Lukey, 1968. That's the round.
That's the round. Time to scoop some units. It's important we scoop units. Our fucking lives depend on it. Sebo, what are you doing here?
I'm kind of taking just legs of things I'm already on, kind of. But basically, Parawin and Sivo, I've explained that the reinforcements are back, the left's back. Armstrong, apparently he scores, according to his Supercoach points. Fish versus Raiders, the unders, we're taking that. It's a lot of rugby league points. And then the Manu and Teddy, I predicted there's going to be a flushing, but I want to actually jump on a couple of try scorers in a separate bet to my flush bet. So all that stuff, I have a constitution behind. I haven't just made up to, make numbers in a unit scooper. So I'm really excited for this one. 33.69.
Okay. Eduardo?
Tom, I'm going for a smoothie, but obviously it's not a smoothie because there's only 5 games. I don't know what we call that.
Akai?
Yeah, I think
Akai bowl?
Akai's 5, maybe.
Acai bowl?
Yeah.
Sebo, you're usually in charge of this sort of thing, mate.
Yeah, maybe Akai's 4, English breakfast 5.
Okay. So it's an English breakfast, punters and dribblers.
How did I
Gutho,
forget?
Armstrong, Laurie, Fuller, Manu, 46-10.
All right.
I'm going to run with my 2 Roosters again, Teddy and Terrell May. I'm going to chuck in a Trey Fuller from the Dolphins, and I think getting Katoa from the Sharks at over $2 is ridiculous. So I'm going to take him as well, $35.30.
All right. I have gone just for basically a double ender. Well, not even a double ender, really. I've gone 2 from the fucking Fish game and 2 from the Roosters game. We've got Trey Fuller and Herbie Farmworth into Manu and Victor Radley, 36.23.
It's like the new breakfast deal at Macca's. I went through drive-thru the other day. $12, you get 2 sausage and egg McMuffins, 2 hash browns. Like it used to be $12, and an orange. It used to be $12 just for 1 each. What I mean? Yeah.
Don't fucking tempt me with a good time at Macca's. Jesus Christ, that's the last thing I need. Well, that's what I'm hoping for here, a good time at McDonald's.
2 hash browns, 2 sausage
You
and egg
fucked
muffins.
him, mate. He'll be there as soon as we finish.
Yep.
Lippy, Para 1-12, Knights the win, Panthers 1-12, Finns in the Raiders game unders, and the Cows and the Roosters overs. That's 49.5 and 51.5 respectively. $48.71 for the Lippy. Not the worst bet.
Not the worst. All right, let's get to the hot seat. All right, hot seat time. My first time back in the second sort of iteration of hot seat. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm giddy. I'm a little bit farty. $1.90 is what we're looking for. Initially, I had the Dogs in there to win, but Rando's stats terrified me. They scared me off. Tobler, I understand the camera, mate. I'm just in my mind thinking as you keep pointing to the fucking camera. All right, I understand what's going on here. I don't need to be staring directly into the souls of these people. I was terrified by the Dogs after Rando's stats. So I fucked them off. I'm going Trey Fuller anytime. It's like 230 something. Trey likes to score. He's a little live wire. He's nippy as fuck. And when you see someone who's high on nip, then I think you gotta look at it. And 235 for a man that's fucking overflowing with nip, that's pretty good value. So Trey Fuller 235-ish. Do your own research. That's a hot seat bet. All right, punters and dribblers, that's us done and dusted for another week. Shout out to Neds. Thank you to the gentleman here with me, Guru, Eddie, Sebo, Rando, everyone behind the scenes. We'll see you next week. Origin week, baby. Let's go.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website